What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon, and it's a Monday. Monday normally means a lot of gloominess in the world of work, right? But on the channel, Mondays are fun because, of course, in Monday's videos, this is where we check out the world rankings to see what has shifted up due to those games on the weekend. Some results I definitely did not see coming. What a great round of the Six Nations we had. We're going to be checking out the world rankings, see what's changed. We're going to be checking out your guys' predictions for the game, see who got closest. I think there's going to be few and far between everyone getting all of them correct this round. And then we're going to be checking out the fantasy results for both the Superbru and the Guinness Six Nations one, and going over the team of the week. And there's some big results going on there. If you enjoy the style of video, make sure you hit the old like button. And without further ado, let's jump in because there's a lot to go over today. So starting out with the world ranking, some big old games on the go. Now, in terms of a swapping round here, of course, I'm going to do the thing again where we've got the split screens that you guys can see. Ireland losing to England. Losing 1.42 points. That is shifting out now, right? South Africa is now out there. They are first place. They have a big buffer zone before we get down to Ireland now, taking a lot of points off Ireland there. France getting the win over Wales in the Principality, of course, still gives them some good bonus points, even with the difference in where they are in the table. So they have gained 0.92, but as of yet, no swapping around in terms of the board. England get the plus 1.42 for beating Ireland, and Scotland losing to Italy lose 1.47. So no one's swapping around in position, but just so that you guys can see all of these point shifts and why that gap is getting so big now. So South Africa outright, out there in first place. These guys are all beginning to close up now, and then between 5th and 6th, bit of a gap opening up now, separating out this top 10 a little bit. Wales losing to France, see them drop down that 0.92, and Italy climbing 1.47, sees them go from 10th up to 9th. They got back into 10th for like the first time in a couple of years, actually, to get back into that top 10. They are now up into 9th place, and that closing gap, what a game we're going to be finishing off in the last round of the Six Nations. Wales versus Italy next week. Cannot wait for that one. Elsewhere in the world, though, we do have some shifting around. Switzerland gained 1.14 after beating Czechia, who've dropped down from 34th down to 37th. And that's it in terms of the leaderboard shifting around. But man, oh man, there's not a lot to talk about in terms of teams moving around in terms of the actual results. But those big points, shifting and losing. So really, we only got to talk about Italy climbing up that one place. But yeah, that Wales-Italy game, I'm really looking forward to that game. France versus England are right next to each other. They're playing each other next week. And then we've got Ireland versus Scotland, which is a bit of separation out on this board. But man, Six Nations is turning into a very, very fun tournament by the ending round. Moving on then to the Predictor Series. How did we all get on? I am not seeing a Grand Slam bonus point there. If you look over here, you can see all of the red next to my name, because I didn't do well. I didn't do well at all this week. It looks like one person's done quite well, though. But we'll start out by taking a look at the results then. Italy taking the first game by 2 against Scotland. You can see in the graphic down here, just how few people were going for Italy in this one. I really thought Scotland would do well in this one. But where you wanted to be, David Wakefield coming in there. Italy by 2. Bang on. Not just going for the upset, but getting it bang on in terms of the points. You get that extra bonus points as well. 2.5 from a game where most people are taking 0. That is a big, big boost in this Predictor Series, David. Well done to you. Sam Booker also doing really well. Went for Italy by 3, but Dave has stolen that entire point away from you after maybe being one of the only people to go for the upset. Sam Booker coming in there with a good pick as well. England versus Ireland. England took this one by 1. I really thought Ireland were going to steamroller this game. I went high. I went right out there. I don't remember what I said. Ireland by 17. I went out there. I went for the big scores, hoping to clamber back some big points. But not the way it went. And we start out by looking at Ireland, which says to me nobody picked England. Nobody picked England. Wow, my goodness, what an upset that one must have caused then. Yeah, nobody going for that. Major upset, says Superbru. Only 9% of people in the world went for England. The only person to take any points then, M. Henderson, coming in there by Ireland said by 3, so you get half a bonus point for being within 5 of that total score difference. Well done to you, M. Henderson, for taking something away from this game, because nobody else did in our entire pool. And then to finish us off, France versus Wales. A bit more comfortable than I expected. I don't really know why I put 8. I had quite a lot of confidence in France being able to take this game, especially with their sort of, bolstered squad coming back in. I don't know why I went so low for that one. I kind of feel like I would have pushed that actually out to about 12 to 14 points. Still wouldn't have scored me anything, but I went for 8. I feel like that's kind of low. Maybe I'd already put that in, but like an idiot. But in terms of the scoreboard then, quite a few people went for Wales, actually. Maybe thought a bit of an upset. Wales maybe overperforming in some areas. France certainly underperforming before getting into this game, but I certainly saw France taking this one. Where did we want to be? You had to go for a big France win. Did anyone get all the way out there? Pierre! What a great name for a France win, right? Getting France by 15, so you get the 1 and 1 for being closest as well, but you don't get the half bonus point for being within 5, just out by 1 point. Very, very close. Could have seen you there. So, looks like we all did pretty terribly for the majority of it, but we'll take a look at the round then. As it stood out there with that bang-on result. David Wakefield, man, what a great pick. Comes in on that 3.5 for the one round, which may not seem like a lot, but considering none of us did very well, that is a big, big boost. Pierre comes in there on 2 points to second place. Sambuca and M. Henderson share 1.5 for joint third. And we're all 1. We're all 1. Did anyone get 0? Yes, a few people got 0, actually. Either didn't get all their picks in, or just called the games wrong all the way across the weekend. Big weekend for some upsets, I think. So taking a look at the leaderboard, what has shifted up? Well, our main man of the week, David Wakefield, climbs 7 places up into first. What a way to turn this round on 14 points. Doing absolutely fabulously this round, David. All of us are going to drop down by 1. No one's really going to shift around, but we'll run through the top 10 super quickly. Christopher 113, Alex M, Bonjour, England, no chance of winning. Do you like curry? Pedri, myself, I'm still in there. I'm still in the top 10. That's incredible. I can't believe I'm somehow still in that top 10. Etai down 1, Rob holding 9th. Steve Thompson climbs up to 10th to take the last spot there. Phil down 1. A few people actually climbing up 2, 1. Blair's climbing up 1 there. Pierre climbing 10 for getting that France pick pretty close. Big Brain Kean. Oh, Kean, big loss for you there, mate. Down 14 places. Emmett also down 15 places. It's been a tough round for a lot of people. Lewis Young down 6. Villa Farrell climbing up 4. Scottish Squid down 6. I was seeing you do so well in the fantasy this week. The predictor getting away from you. I'll have a bit of a scroll down. It's really interesting to see how many people's names, because I've already been keeping track of the fantasy this weekend. It's interesting to see how many people that have dropped down in the predictor have gone up in the fantasy. That's a really interesting crossover. Of course, we'll get onto the fantasy in just a second there, all the way down to Alex there in 72nd place on 0 points. But congratulations are in order to David Wakefield, not just taking the round, taking the top spot in the leaderboard 1 week out from it being over. Can he hold on for 1 more week and take that championship title? On to the fantasy then. A really weird week for the fantasy. I got my plays all wrong. I went for Ireland forwards, thinking they were going to dominate the England forward pack. I went for Scottish backs, thinking open play game, and then I had a bit of sprinkling of some French players in there. Turns out that was the worst thing in the world to do. England forwards took all the points off of the Ireland forwards. Ireland forwards scored terribly. The Scottish backs did okay. That didn't really go my way. Scottish forwards actually did kind of better. Italy was where you wanted to be looking. French backs did really well. I just got the whole thing wrong this weekend, and you'll see my scores reflected. Looking at the top scorers then, Devon comes in there on 218.5, which is a massive score. The community average was something like 160. So that is like 60 points above average. That's still really, really high. I mean, and we've said his name already this video. David Wakefield comes in once again, second place in the fantasy this week, doing so well this round for you, David, on 215.5. Atters on 213.5. MCFC Fan 30 on 212.5 in fourth place. Garlic Bread on 212. Who's Me 67 on 211. The Locks are loaded 208. Aza goes on 207.5. Wow, there's actually quite a close battle there up towards the top. I'm really surprised by this. Ian on 206.5 and Yinia Jones coming in there as well on 203.5. I'll have a bit of a scroll down. I don't even know where I'm going to be on this board. I had a bad all round. It was a really weird week in the fantasy. A lot of teams had really low scoring players. Where am I? I think I'm around there. Yeah, 53rd. Ooh, it's a bad week for me. But a lot of teams scored really, really badly and then there was like one player per team that scored really well, and you needed to pick that one bang on. Like the Ireland team scored awful, basically across the board, unless you had James Lowe, in which case he scored fine. A couple of the England players scored kind of low. Ben Earl crushed it. Some of the Italian players scored nothing. Some of the others did really well. Really weird week. So picking those exact players in basically one in each position was the way to go this week. So we have our team of the week. I will chuck it on the screen for you guys. I'm going to read it off my phone because I'm going to do this all in post because I'm that professional. So starting out with the team of the week then, in the prop department, Xander Fagerson on 14.5, getting over for his try, of course. And the other prop, Colombe, coming in for France from the bench and scored a try, got 12 points. Really surprising. I doubt anyone was picking a French substitute prop, probably coming in for his first big game. In your hooker department, George Turner on my bench, not doing anything for me there. Scored 15 was your hooker. You can see David Wakefield had him in there on that 15 points. In your lock department, an all-English lockout. Itoje and Ollie Chesham, even though Chesham was playing at 6 this week, he was, of course, locked in as a lock in the game, so you needed to have the all-English lockout there. Your back row, my goodness. Well, let's start out with Andy Christie, who had a great game for Scotland, scored him 16 points. Vincent in Italy, after I said in the preview video, I was like, I can't remember anything he did last week. This week, what a way to, come at me and say, this is him. This is the guy you want to pay attention to. Scored 18, absolutely rapid number 8 getting in there. But the big player of the round, of course, Ben Earl, scored you 34.5, monstrous for a back row. So you made him captain. You also scored you 69. You can see these big old red bars in the middle here. I'm sure I know what's going on there in terms of those guys' captaincy. In your halfback partnership, Thomas Williams, best scrum half of the round on 17. Again, in my preview video, I said Wales scrum halves haven't impressed me. Thomas Williams comes in, has a fantastic game. 17 for a scrum half is wild. I don't think I've ever... 17 is loads, right? I don't think I've ever seen anyone crack 20 as a scrum half, but 17 is a lot. Your best fly half of the round, Paolo Garbisi. He scored you 10 if you didn't make him kicker. If you did make him kicker, he scored 23, so he was also the best kicking fly half of the round. So Garbisi was your way to go. Your centre partnership, Brex, came in on 16.5, who, if you guys were there for the live stream when I was designing my team, loads of people said, what about Brex? And I said, I just don't know. Didn't pull the trigger. Terrible move by me. 16.5, really good score. And then Gael Ficou out there in the outside centre on 19 points, who I dropped for Bundyaki, who scored 4.5. Terrible move by me yet again. And then you back 3. No Scottish players in there, considering that's what I was expecting to go on. James Lowe on 18 in an Irish team that scored nothing in any other position, really. Damien Penaud was your actual highest scoring winger on 25.5. And then finally, Ramos, if you had him as a kicker, would have scored you 27.5, therefore making him the best with a lot of kicking points going his way. Really, really tough picks this week. You needed to get the exact players, basically, in that position, as opposed to there being, 4 or 5 people all really close to each other. There was just one standout, really, in every single position, and none of them were in my team. So take a look at the leaderboards as they stand at the end of round 4. Am I even going to be in the top 10 anymore? I genuinely don't know. Atters comes in, climbing 4 places up into first place there on 823. Mr. Cucumber holding out in second place on 807.5. Big Brain dropping down 2 places on 802.5. You guys doing very well, though. Still crack the 800 marker, though. Scrumdog Millionaires drops down 1 on 791.5. Villa Farrell having another good round, climbs up 2 places on 785. Etai, the guy we're all chasing down in this year's tournament, is still holding out in 6th place on 781. Devon, winner of the round, climbs up 11 places. What a big jump to get into the top 10, into 7th place on 772. Bears Gamer. Bears is doing really well this year in terms of the fantasy. Not just this one, the Guinness one as well. Bears is having a blinder this year. Climbs up 2 places into 8th on 771. The Locks Are Loaded climbs is 7 places to get into 9th on 769. Your boy is clinging on. I am clinging on barely to that top 10. Every year, I aim to get in the top 10, and man, I'm just about in there right now on 763, and I'm going to be finishing out there. I'll have a bit of a scroll down so everyone else can see their name. We'll point out some of the big shifters around. Wow, Who's Me climbs up 15 places there as well. Yinio Jones up 17. Steve Thompson's up 10 as well. There's some big shifting around this week. Now, I do also have a private league going on with a couple of my mates outside of the channel going on. And going into this final round, there's David Wakefield having another great round, up 16 into 37. He's closing in. But in our private league, going into the final round, someone is 8 points behind me. I'm currently winning the league between me and a couple of friends, but second place is 8 points behind me going into the final round. Far too close for my liking. But yeah, you guys are just monsters at this fantasy. You've done absolutely phenomenally. There's all our wooden spooners down the bottom. Some big names down there. You guys not getting in for the fantasy this year. But my goodness, Atters with such a great round to surge up into that top spot on 823, and a bit of a gap as well, right? I mean, that is 16 points. That's still hefty to get up. If you get a good kicker and a good captain in, Atters could be taking this year's tournament. What a fantastic result. And then quickly then, before we round off today's video, let us take a look at the official Guinness Six Nations. Now, I actually found the bit before the video that says how he got on per round. So Abraham Tomahawk comes in this week on 471, doing very well. I'm not going to dive too deeply into this one. We'll scroll on so everyone can see their names. You can see the crossover between some of these guys' names and who is taking part in the Superbru as well. I am nowhere in this. I'm doing so badly, but we'll have a scroll down so everyone can see where they came this round. There's a tie as well. Bowie, man, there's a couple of big hitters that are not in the top 10 in the Guinness Six Nations. It's so interesting to see how it transfers over from one league to another. Like, I mean, I've just done badly in both of them this week. There's Bears, who did well, still in 47th, even with, another solid team this week, still in 47th there. Where am I? Oh my goodness, it's terrible. 67th, there's me. What a terrible round for me. This one turned into, oh my goodness, of 76. I had an awful round. Let's not even dwell on that too much. But we'll check out the winning team of the round, because I didn't do that last week. Abraham Tomahawk coming in there. James Lowe, Damien Pinot, 96, big scoring. That was the two, best wingers of the round. Blair Kinghorn scored pretty well, to be fair. If you haven't got Ramos as in there as your kicker. The centre partnership did okay. That was the same centre partnership I came in with. Jack Crowley, Lamara came in there. Ben Earl, once again, is your boy this round, scoring 72 points. Huge score. David Jenkins scoring well as well. Dan Sheehan actually scored better in this one than I expected him to. And P.S. Guman, of course, getting over for a try as well. Really solid team all round, which means going into the final round, Joe O'Dower still stays in that top spot on 1752. And as a lead, right? That's a big chunk ahead of Lasadeo Das Elias. Oh, I'm going to butcher everyone's names in this. Scrubbed up millionaire. Climbs up 2 on 1651. Habanaz in Pajamas is staying in 4th. Houston dropping down 3 places. Chris up 1 place into 6th. Phil down 1 into 7th. Green Machine down 1 into 8th. Raj is the winner, climbs at 1. Abraham Tomahawk taking the round this week, climbs into that top 10, up 14 places. What a massive jump. I'll have a scroll down so everyone can see their names in this one as well. I don't even know. Am I even top 50? In this one, it has not been good. I'm not going to lie, guys. This Guinness Six Nations, it's the first year I've ever attempted it, and it's not been great. There's the top 50, 57th of what? 76? Did I say we had in the team? Yeah, unfortunately, it's a first year trying to do this, and I haven't done well. But we're learning for next year's, right? And some other tournaments that, of course, we'll be doing on the channel. But congratulations to everyone who's done really well this round. Congratulations if you were one of the ones that saw some of the upsets coming, because I absolutely didn't see it. Well, of course, we've got final round, Super Saturday, coming up this weekend. So over the next couple of days, you're going to be seeing the Mad Dragon Six Nations Series. The final weekend is going to be pumped out over Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to have to do all 3 videos over the next 2 days. Thursday, probably 3 preview videos, right? Because I assume all the teams team announcements are coming out on Thursday. I might even do 2 on the Thursday and put 1 on the Friday so that you guys have a video on the Friday to check out. And then we're on to Super Saturday, and then cycle round to that Monday. We'll be naming our tournament winners across the fantasy and the predictor and what have you. Let's hope Super Saturday has some awesome rugby, just like we got to see in round 4. All right, guys, I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.